Wisława Szymborska. Maria Wisława Anna Szymborska, born on July 2, 1923, died on February 1, 2012, was a Polish poet, essayist, translator, and recipient of the 1996 Nobel Prize in Literature. Born in Prowent, now part of Kórnik in west-central Poland, she resided in Kraków until the end of her life. In Poland, Szymborska's books have reached sales rivaling prominent prose authors, though she wrote in a poem, some like poetry, Niektórzy lubią poezję, that perhaps 2 in 1,000 people like poetry. Szymborska was awarded the 1996 Nobel Prize in Literature for poetry that with ironic precision allows the historical and biological context to come to light in fragments of human reality. She became better known internationally as a result. Her work has been translated into many European languages, as well as into Arabic, Hebrew, Japanese, Persian, and Chinese. Wisława Szymborska was born on July 2, 1923 in Prowent, the second daughter of Wincenty Szymborski and Anna, née Rotermund, Szymborska. Her father was, at that time, the steward of Count Władysław Zamoyski, a Polish patriot and charitable patron. After Zamoyski's death in 1924, her family moved to Torunia, and in 1931 to Kraków, where she lived and worked until her death in early 2012. When World War II broke out in 1939, she continued her education in underground classes. From 1943, she worked as a railroad employee and managed to avoid being deported to Germany as a forced laborer. During this time, her career as an artist began with illustrations for an English-language textbook. She also began writing stories and occasional poems. In 1945, she began studying Polish literature before switching to sociology at Jagiellonian University in Kraków. There she became involved in the local writing scene and met and was influenced by Czesław Miłosz. In March 1945, she published her first poem, Szukam Słowa, Looking for Words, in the daily newspaper Dziennik Polski. Her poems continued to be published in various newspapers and periodicals for a number of years. In 1948, she quit her studies without a degree due to poor financial circumstances. The same year, she married poet Adam Lodek, whom she divorced in 1954. They remained close until Lodek's death in 1986. Their union was childless. Around the time of her marriage, she was working as a secretary for an educational biweekly magazine as well as an illustrator. Her first book was to be published in 1949, but did not pass censorship as it did not meet socialist requirements. Szymborska adhered to the People's Republic of Poland's PRL official ideology early in her career. For example, during the Polish anti-religious campaign, she signed an infamous 1953 political petition condemning Polish priests accused of treason in a Kraków show trial. Her early work supported socialist themes as seen in her debut collection Dlatego Żyjemy, That Is What We Are Living For, containing the poems Lenin and Młodzi Budzić Nowa Huta, for the youth who are building Nowa Huta, about the construction of a Stalinist industrial town near Kraków. She became a member of the ruling Polish United Workers' Party. Although initially close to the official party line as the Polish Communist Party shifted from the Stalinist Communists to National Communists, Szymborska grew estranged from socialist ideology and renounced her earlier political work. Although she did not officially leave the Communist Party until 1966, she began to establish contacts with dissident intellectuals. As early as 1957, she befriended Jerzy Giedroyc, the editor of the influential Paris-based émigré journal Kultura, to which she contributed. In 1964, she opposed a communist-backed protest to the Times against independent intellectuals, demanding freedom of speech instead. In 1953, Szymborska joined the staff of the literary review magazine Życie Literackie, Literary Life, where she continued to work until 1981 and from 1968 had a book review column, Lectury na Obowiązkowe. Many of her essays from this period were later published in book form. From 1981 to 1983, she was an editor of the Kraków-based monthly periodical Nagłos Out Loud. In the 1980s, she intensified her oppositional activities, contributing to the Samizdat periodical Arka under the pseudonym Stęg Zakona, as well as to Kultura. In the early 1990s, with a poem published in Gazeta Wyborcza, she supported the vote of no confidence in the first non-communist government that brought former communists back to power. The last collection published while Szymborska was still alive, Dukropek, was chosen as the best book of 2006 by readers of Poland's Gazeta Wyborcza. She also translated French literature into Polish, in particular Baroque poetry and the works of Agrippa D'Aubigné, a Huguenot soldier poet during the French Wars of Religion. In the Germanosphere, Szymborska is closely associated with Lodz-born literary translator Karl Dedecius, who did much to popularize post-war Polish literature there. Surrounded by friends and relatives, Szymborska died peacefully of lung cancer in her sleep at home in Krakow in 2012, aged 88. She was working on new poetry at the time of her death, but was unable to arrange her final poems for publication in the way she wanted. Her last poetry was published later in 2012. In 2013, the Wisława Szymborska Award was established in honor of her legacy. Thanks for watching HerStory channel. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe our channel.